Here, do me a favor, guys. Get comfortable with the interface. Find the Q&A section where you can actually ask your question, and then you've got the chat section where you can actually chat. Because this is a small group gathering, you guys will actually have exclusive access to me. I'm going to answer every single question inside this chat, inside this Zoom, because you guys are part of the Black Business School. And so you guys were invited to be part of a special section. Now, people on the outside for today, they'll be able to hear me and see me, but their questions will only be answered after I answer every single question inside the Zoom. Those of you who are watching on the outside who wish to join us in the private group settings, make sure you go join theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com, and you can actually come in and I will see your questions first. So I can't look at every single thing everywhere. I can only look at one section at a time, and that's kind of how things are set up now. So welcome to everybody. You guys, some of you are watching from the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's daily financial news. And I do the Dr. Boyce Watkins daily Black Financial Report, in which I talk about what's happening in the markets that day. I think it's very important for Black people, all of us, to really be committed to knowing what's happening in the world of finance. If you want to have money, you got to know where the money's flowing. You got to know what's going on in the world of finance. I see El Haj and Opal and Anita Watkins. Hello, how are you? Pro Woman, how are you? Angel Pennington, how are you? Jay Parrish, good to see you. Nicole Cobb from California, good to see you. Shout out the city that you're from. Shout out what city you're from. I see Terry Young. Hello, Terry, how are you? All right, so let me go ahead and jump in here and start the conversation on something that I think you guys might find very interesting. Netflix. Is anybody invested in Netflix? Tell me yes or no if you are a Netflix investor. Terry Young says yes. Okay, I see Sacramento in the building for Jason Hunter. Good to see you, Jamar from Dallas. Okay, so the reason I ask about Netflix is because Netflix is a company that has had quite a bit of growth. It's been a high flyer. It's been a great stock to invest in. And did you guys know that if you had invested $100, just $100, literally the amount of money that you might spend taking your family to see the Black Panther, if you put $100 in Netflix stock at the start of the century, you'd have about $23,000 today. So that's a lot like buying a house for $100,000 and having the house be worth $2.3 million 20 years later. So imagine if you bought a house for 100 grand and it was worth $2.3 million just a few years later. That's the kind of return you'd have if you'd invested in, say, Netflix stock. Now, of course, it's not so easy to always predict and know which companies are going to take off, which ones are going to blast off, like crazy. But the key idea, though, is that you can never win the game if you're not playing the game, right? The best way to not have a chance to win is to be on the sideline. And so what I would say to you guys is that when you want to catch the next Netflix, because there is another Netflix out there, there's some other company right now that you aren't thinking much about that has an excellent business model that if you invest in that company now, your investment will grow by 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. There's always a company like that. There's no point in American history where there has not been a company like that you could invest in that would give you, a massive return years later. Now, here's what's fascinating about Netflix. This is really interesting too. Netflix actually is not the best investment that you could have made 20 years ago in terms of total return. Did you know that, Yusuf? Henny, I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but which company, let me see, can somebody guess which company, according to Yahoo Finance, would have given you the best return on investment? Not that you guys are expected to know this, but I thought it would be like a fun little piece of Black financial trivia. I'm gonna drink some of my smoothie while you guys answer and see if you can guess. Okay, Black Rose says Google. That's a good guess. Not right, but it's a good guess. B Polly, good. Amazon says. Let's see. B Polly says Amazon. Good guess. Not correct. Joseph Apple. Microsoft, Starbucks. These are great companies. Very high growth organizations. Excellent choices, by the way. It's not like you guys are making dumb guesses or at all. The winner, the actual company that you would have made the most money from if you'd invested in the beginning, is actually Monster. Monster, the energy drink. If you'd put $100 in Monster, At the start of the 21st century, meaning the year 2000, that $100 investment will be worth $62,444. And in fact, actually, what I'm going to actually show you guys is a quick screenshot of the highest performing stocks in American history, or whatever, however you want to describe it. You can see here. Now, those of you on Facebook can't see it, but I'll read it to you. You can see here you got Monster at the top. You've got Netflix below them, and then you got Equinix, who I don't know who that is. Tractor Supply Company, Intuitive, Ansiv. Then there's Apple, IDEX, MasterCard, Ross Dress for Less. There's a Ross down the street from my house, so I guess I don't know. I guess people like Ross a lot. But either way, though, here's the thing, though. One of the things that's really important to understand about investing is that the stock market is not, like a lottery ticket. It's not a place where you're looking to pick the right numbers, or to play the right, or to pick the right horse. You don't want to think about the stock market like a casino. The way you think about it is a place where you make broad investments, and then if a stock takes off and you're diversified enough, you might look back in your portfolio and say, oh, I own that stock. I do that all the time. Like, I'll read about something that, I'll get a notification from Robinhood that says, oh, this stock went up 10% today, and I'll be like, ooh, let me see if I own it. And I'll be like, oh, babe, guess what? We own this stock. We own this stock, right? And so it's not like I knew. It's not like I knew which stock was going to do what. I just invest in a lot of things. You see, in order for you to have a harvest, you got to plant seeds. Give me a yes or no if you get what I'm saying. Like, that you cannot expect a harvest if you have no seeds planted. If you do not plant seeds, then the harvest will not come. Okay. So if you don't plant seeds for wealth, then wealth ain't coming for you. If you don't plant the seeds, meaning the seeds are the education, meaning the knowledge and understanding of how wealth works, the investment necessary to put yourself in a position to actually have wealth. If you don't make the investments and get the knowledge and then make the investments, then wealth is not coming for you. There is, there are people that say, oh, well, maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll win the lotto, or maybe I'll get a chance to play in the NFL. But actually, history shows very clearly that people who have those good things that happen to them, who win the lotto or make it, to professional sports, or come into a bunch of money, when they don't have the knowledge, of the financial knowledge and good financial discipline and psychology, they lose all their money anyway. Because people who are intelligent and disciplined when it comes to wealth, they're able to actually extract wealth from people that don't have discipline. So the worst thing in the world is to be a rich person, a rich dummy. They're basically a rich dummy gets played. A rich dummy gets their money taken, right? And there are a lot of ways people try to take it. Some people just trick you out of your money. Some people will sell you something that's overpriced. They'll do the doctrine of unequal exchange, where they make bad business deals with you because you don't understand what's going on. Or some people will give you a sob story and beg you for the money and manipulate you. A lot of y'all have relatives that have probably done this to you. Or they might do a Cardi B. Remember Cardi B talks about how she would wait till these big ballers came into the club, and they keep track of this. Like, this is a whole industry. There's a whole industry of strippers that literally will track athletes the way the CIA tracks, black identity extremists, the way the FBI looks for terrorists. Like, they track their movements, what they like to do, what they like to drink, what they like to talk about, and what their schedule is, when they're in town, and they find these guys. They sit down next to them and they play their vulnerabilities, and next thing you know, this guy is drugged and raped and whatever. Like, there's a whole underground where this happens, right? Because these are not stupid people. These are savvy people who actually, believe it or not, they actually have a financially savvy mindset. The problem is that they're also unethical, right? And here's the thing about wealth. If you look throughout the history of the world in terms of how wealth gets transferred, wealth usually, throughout history has been transferred through corruption and violence and all these other things. I mean, so, hopefully you guys won't do that. Like, I don't want you to go hit somebody upside the head and take their money, or go kill somebody and take what they've got. But, I'd rather you earn it honestly. Like, I think that's a good way to sleep at night. But, historically, don't sit here and pretend like a lot of the wealth that you see all around you wasn't obtained through some really problematic means. Okay. So do me a favor, guys. If you're watching actually on the Black Financial Channel, if you could hit that thumbs up button real quick, I'd really appreciate that. And I'm going to answer some of the questions for the people that are in the Zoom. Georgia says no. Okay, she wrote no in the live. I don't know what that means. Okay, Georgia's from New York. Okay, Georgia, in the Q&A section, you don't have to put your comments there. You can put your comments in the chat. And this is for people who are in the Zoom. Some of you are actually watching on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll answer your questions as well. But the questions in the Zoom are the ones I'm going to answer first, and these are from the students. So let's see, Chubby Curls. How you doing, Chubby Curls? Good to see you, sister. Hey Doc, what are your thoughts about Ray J's new bike venture? I believe it's an over-the-counter stock. I wish Ray J the best. I don't know anything about Ray J's company. I just know he seems to be making moves, but I'm not. Am I convinced that he's making these big moves? No, I'm not yet. I don't know, but I'm not overly scrutinizing him, right? I don't want to be overly critical just because he's black. But I will tell you this: you got to be real cautious about announcements people make about these multi-million-dollar business deals, because a lot of times people will make announcements that they're doing well so that you'll go buy their product. A lot of the fake it till you make it stuff does apply. Russell Simmons actually confessed in court. Russell's a guy, I know Russell personally, and I like him. When I worked with him, he operated with complete integrity, so I have nothing negative to say about him as a person, but this is just fact. He was in a lawsuit, and they asked him about one of his clothing lines. I don't know if it was Fat Farm. I think that's the one he had. And basically, he just kind of confessed in court under oath that a lot of times you'll go out and you'll say, we sold $100 million worth of our merchandise last year, and you're doing that so people will go buy your stuff because they know that there's what you call in investing. We call that a herding effect, where like the way sheep move in a herd, people move in a herd, consumers move in a herd. A lot of people don't know who they are. They don't know really what they like intrinsically. They just sort of follow the pack. They do what the pack does, right? So basically, they know how to take advantage of that. So they'll come out and just say, we sold $100 million or whatever last year. And that makes people say, oh, well, if everybody else likes it, then I should like it too. So feel free to pop in more of your questions and I'll answer more of your questions. Now, one thing I'll mention to you guys also is that if you want to actually join one of our programs in the Black Business School that's really good, we actually have a program where literally I catalog my answers to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions that students ask me over time. It's called Ask Dr. Boyce, and it's literally responding directly to any questions that you have. So if you guys actually want to hear like all these answers, it's literally hours and hours of content. Feel free to go to askdrboyce.com, that's askdrboyce.com, and you can actually sign up for that program and take a look at a lot of that content and watch those videos with your family. Where do we go to invest in stocks? I invest with the apps Robinhood, Stash, and Acorns. We also have a stock market investing class. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. We've actually got people on the line that can talk to you right now about your personal wealth plan that are in the Black Business School. I want you guys to take a look at the Black Business School because we feel that we've revolutionized Black economic education. We believe that we are better than the HBCUs because we don't come with a lot of the bureaucratic baggage. We don't have to get government approval to do certain things. We don't need government money. We don't need corporate sponsorship money. We don't bog you down with hundreds of thousands of dollars in costs for classes that you don't need. We get you right to the core of what you need as a family with real PhDs, lawyers, everything else. Attorney Nicole Compton is extremely good at answering all the little detailed questions that your professors probably can't answer about everything from getting your business started, like what paperwork you have to file, what to look out for, estate planning. She's really good with estate planning. She's actually doing a special estate planning lecture on how to create the perfect estate plan on the 26th. I think that's when the lecture is going to happen. In fact, let me see if I can find the link and I can share the link with you guys so you guys can feel free to join if you'd like to. Use the code word Black Business School to get 50% off for the first 100 people to sign up. I'm going to share this link with you guys right now. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pop it in here so you guys can see it. But yeah, and so if you use the code word Black Business School when you check out, use it as one word, not 3 words, just one long word, Black Business School. You can actually get 50% off, but that's only going to work for about 3 days for the first 100 people to sign up. So if you're in the first 100, then you can use it. If you're not, then unfortunately you won't be able to use it anymore. So I'm going to send the link to you guys who are on the Facebook page as well. Feel free to take a look. Give me a second here. And the reason I recommend you talk to experts is because experts can just make things easier. I mean, so that you're not sort of sitting there trying to figure out, spending a year or a bunch of money trying to figure something out that somebody else already does every single day. One of the biggest things that I figured out, that I learned as a wealth builder, when I got better at it, was the importance of delegation and talking to people who already know what's going on, so that I don't waste a lot of my life sitting around, trying to figure things out or overpaying for things. Okay, so here's the link for you guys. Feel free to go check it out. Okay, and don't forget to use that code word if you want to get the discount. All right, so let me see here. Question: is investing in Netflix now beneficial? Netflix is a risky stock because Netflix has a lot of competition on the horizon. If you know, the streaming wars are about to start, and basically Disney has come in, and they've come in real gangster. Like, they come in really aggressive to basically jump in and make money, the same way Netflix is. A lot of people are figuring out these streaming services are a better option than licensing your content to a streaming service. So Disney is doing it, Apple TV is doing it, BET is doing it, through Viacom. BET is not a black-owned company. Let's make sure that we're clear on that. Who else? I mean, there's just so many. Hulu, NBC. I mean, everybody's creating a streaming service, and it's really creating so this wild bonanza of content. I mean, where there's just so much stuff to watch on TV. I don't know how a person can have enough time to watch all that stuff, all those shows. Let's see here. Boyce, you have more followers than I do, so can you please help Byron Allen from Comcast by leading the way to boycott or something similar? Well, I don't know if I can get people to boycott Comcast, but I do know that there were people who were saying that they didn't want to support the Harriet Tubman movie because that movie was made by Focus Features, which is a subsidiary of Comcast. And if you want to know why that's a big deal, well, Byron Allen went on the Breakfast Club and talked about his lawsuit that he has against Comcast. It's a $20 billion lawsuit, basically because Byron Allen wanted Comcast to carry his channels. Now, the thing is, he does not have black channels, from what I understand. He owns The Griot, which is the black publication, but he has stuff like Cars.tv and Pets.tv, right? Which, I'm not going to say that black people don't like cars and pets. We do, but I mean, I mean, really, let's just be honest. Like, who really loves their animals more than anybody? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So he basically wanted his channels on Comcast, and when this merger went down with Comcast and NBC Universal, he felt that they locked out the black community, and the way he argues that they did it is that they went to the civil rights leaders and pretty much paid them off to support the merger, even though the merger he felt was not good for black channel owners. So as a result, he filed this big lawsuit. He filed it during the Obama administration. He went out right after the Obama administration, and he was very critical of Obama, and which is very interesting to see. And now this decision is going to be made on November 13th, and he's done a good job of giving Comcast a pretty bad black eye by basically pointing out the fact that they're working with the Trump administration to try to undermine the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which is just an absolute no-no for business if you're trying to get money from black folks. So, I think Byron deserves to have his channels on Comcast, but I also think that there are a lot of black filmmakers and a lot of black, TV network owners who deserve to have their content on Comcast. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's doing this just for the black community, but I will say that he's not a bad guy. I support his lawsuit. Wasn't a feeling in two lower courts. Wasn't a feeling two lower courts agree with him. Yeah. Two lower courts did agree, and well, they did. I think the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals was very supportive. I don't know if every single court agreed with him, but he did have some victories, and Comcast is appealing the case. So it is going to the Supreme Court, which is actually a conservative court. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, so let's see here. Troy, what should we read every day to discover the next hot stock? Well, don't look for the next hot stock. I'm just going to tell you that's not how the stock market works. There are theories that basically say that you can't really make an excessive amount of return on your investment by looking for the next hot stock. The way people make their money is they diversify and they buy and hold. And in stock market of investing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's something where you automate. You automatically have a certain amount of money come out of your account. you buy stocks consistently, buy into mutual funds, things like that, that will spread your money out. And that's what makes a difference for you. You don't want to get into chasing the next hot stock because there's evidence to say that just doesn't work. Let's see. You made a lot of sense when you, it says Michael, you made a lot of sense when you highlighted investing for your unborn kids and grandkids. Could you remind me what type of account I should research? I don't think you should do. They have custodial accounts that you can use to invest for your children, where you put the account in their name. I don't recommend those, and you're not going to hear this. You know, again, this is why the Black Business School is better than most institutions when it comes to our people, because I think these things through, and these are things that you're not going to get taught so much in a university setting. I don't think they're a good idea because basically you're kind of locking yourself into something unnecessarily. I'm not a believer in taking away your own options if you don't have to. And what I mean by that is, you know, what if you have a child and your child grows up to just be an irresponsible asshole? You know, do you really want to give an irresponsible asshole $200,000 that you've, you know, saved up for the last 20 years? No, you don't. You don't. You know, you want to control that. So I think that you should keep it in your control. Put your child in your estate plan. Make sure that you prepare for the future. You know, and make sure you also prepare for your death. And then put stipulations on where that money is going to go. Shaquille O'Neal is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's made it clear to his kids, you are not going to get my money just because you're my child. You're going to get it because you maintain a certain standard that we need to maintain as a family to preserve our family wealth. If you give a bunch of money to kids and you don't train them on how to protect it and make sure that they are doing the right thing, they will lose all your money. It's very hard to build a lot of wealth, or it takes a lot of sweat. It's very easy to lose it all very, 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 very fast. Can you repeat the name of the lawyer representing the estate presentation on the website to go sign up? Okay, you know what? If you want the link, it's actually I put it in the chat. I don't know if let me do it again. Let me pop it in here again so you guys can see it. There's the link. So the link's right there. So just go there, and if you want to get half off, just go when you buy your ticket, type in Black Business School as one word, not three words, just one word, and you can get 50% off. So her name is Attorney Nicole Compton. She actually teaches in the Black Business School. She's extremely good. Those of you who live in New York, we're going to come back to New York, and when I come back to New York, I'm going to bring Attorney Compton with me, because Attorney Compton is it's good to have a good lawyer in your corner, because you know, especially if you can find one that won't cost you a ton of money. So Attorney Compton will be there, and she can answer 1,000,001 questions you guys may have about how to form your own family business and really set things up so that you can actually run your family like a company. Like, I want to encourage you to see all the massive wealth possibility that exists within your family. You know, a lot of you have family members who are educated, who are hardworking, who have a few dollars here and there, who spend money on shoes and fast food and new cars and everything else. And what I'm saying is that if you take a fraction of that money that you're spending on things that don't matter and put it into building something for your children and grandchildren, you'd be amazed at what you can build. You know, you can build something that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me see here. What is the link? Okay, here's the link again. I'll put the link back in here. There we go. So feel free to go take a look. We're going to do this on November 26th. It's how to create the perfect estate plan, and basically it'll help you sort of make sure you preserve your wealth, because what that does is it helps you avoid the fate of Prince and Aretha Franklin. If you know, Prince did not plan for his estate, and they have been eating off of Prince for a very long time. I think Prince has probably lost about $70 million. He's donated $70 million to, you know, lawyers he does not know, to accountants he does not know, mostly white, you know, to the IRS, and to all these other consultants that have come in to basically sort out all the fighting that's happening amongst his relatives over who's going to get the money. He could have set all that up before he died. He could have had one meeting with one lawyer and said, this is how I want my money to be sorted out. This is what I want to happen to my masters. I got this extra music. It's going to be valuable. Here's who gets to own it. He could have had one meeting, and I just don't understand for the life of me why he didn't have that meeting. Now, I know there are people out there, every time a Black person does something that's not so good, we always jump into conspiracy theory mode. We have a certain, you know, section of us that will just jump in and say, oh, I don't believe it. I believe they killed him, and I believe they destroyed the will. Well, you know, yeah, but you can make copies and stuff, you can email it, with my will, I emailed it to about 7 or 8 people. And I mean, you kill them all, it's going to look a little suspicious if all of them died in the same weekend, So I'm not going to say that there aren't conspiracies. I think that they do exist. I mean, the man had a lot of money, telling what happened to people, right? But you can't sit here and assume every time somebody dies that somebody must have just found a reason to kill them. I don't know. I don't buy that. Let me see here. Boycott racist Popeyes, says Sam. Well, Popeyes is interesting. Okay, so Popeyes. Two things about Popeyes that come to mind. One is Popeyes is about to relaunch their chicken sandwich, and they are locked and loaded. I'm telling you, like they know how much money they're going to make. Last time you guys surprised them a little bit because we got super excited about the chicken sandwich and we kind of bum rushed them, and so they ran out of chicken, ran out of bread, ran out of all the stuff. Now they're ready. Now they're like, okay, we ordered extra bread, we bought an extra mayonnaise, extra what pickles, and they're ready to sell as many chicken sandwiches as people want. But the fascinating thing is twofold. One, they're going to probably get $100 million out of the Black community by the time this thing is done, just off the chicken sandwich alone. So when I see people who maybe get offended because they see Tariq Nasheed go and raise a couple $100,000 for a convention, but yet you see Popeyes come in and take $100 million out of the community, by selling refried diabetes, refried diabetes, stroke, heart attack juice, all wrapped up in one. I kind of get concerned about that. I think sometimes we direct our energy in the wrong direction. And believe me, that Popeye's chicken sandwich is unhealthy as shit. Like that thing, I'm not even a health nut. I'm just telling y'all for real. Like I'm not big on like eating super healthy, but I read how much sodium is in there. Did you guys know that there's as much sodium in one Popeye's chicken sandwich as the entire amount of sodium you're supposed to take in for the entire day? So you eat one Popeye's chicken sandwich, you've taken in all the sodium that you can take in for the entire day based on recommended daily allowances. And then let's not even talk about saturated fat and everything else. I mean, so basically they're making millions of dollars off of you, and then you're going to pay millions of dollars in money and grief. When Big Mama's getting her toes cut off because she got diabetes, and people, Uncle Willie died of a stroke last week at the age of 38. You got Aunt Lucy who weighs 420 pounds, and because she'll eat the Popeye's chicken sandwich with a big gallon of Kool-Aid with 10 pounds of sugar in it. And I'm not trying to be self-righteous here. I'm not trying to stand on a soapbox and tell you how to live your life. That's not my job. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that we got to sometimes you got to look in the mirror to really see the circus, to really see what you're doing, right? So I'm saying, look in the mirror. We have these things we complain about, but we're literally paying $100 million so we can get sick and die, to buy diabetes in a box, as somebody said. I saw somebody use that term, diabetes in a box. I don't see your name up here, but thank you for saying that, because I agree with that. I mean, it's just, or heart attack in a box. I think it's what they call it, heart attack in a box. Go stand in line. Like one day, if you see the long line of people in the hood buying Popeye's chicken, I want you to just look at that line, and I want you to look at how many obese people, how many morbidly obese people are in that line, right? Look at how many destitute, poor people are in that line, right? And just kind of ask yourself, is that the best way for us to move forward? And should we be applauding this idea that somebody who has a business that doesn't even belong to us, they're taking money out of our community, they're not bringing that money back, that money's going to Canada. Popeyes is a Canadian company, so you're having your health taken away from you, and all your money taken away from you, and you're getting nothing back in return except more sickness, right? They don't just come in and rob you. It's one thing if someone comes in your house and robs you and takes your money and leaves. It's another thing if they rob you and they leave like smallpox all over your furniture, right? Like they don't just take something from you, they give you something extra that's going to make you sick, right? It's like being raped and then the rapist giving you a venereal disease. So you're being financially raped and they're giving you a financial STD, which will come with tons of poverty and devastation that comes from all the wealth being extracted from our community. So if you want to ask me, what's my opinion about the whole Popeye's chicken thing, I think that we can do better than that. And I say at the very least, if you're going to go buy chicken sandwiches. You know, black people know how to make chicken. I mean, shit, we can do anything. I think we're amazing people, but you know, we're not so good at building rocket ships to Mars, but we certainly know how to make some damn chicken. Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes if you get what I'm saying. I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. And if I see you at a Popeye's chicken sandwich, I'm not going to shame you and shit. I mean, it looks so good, I might try it. I'm not even going to lie, right? But I am trying to say, like, all of us, me included, all of us, you know, have to kind of grow out of that, right? We got to kind of take a look at ourselves and at least have some balance, right? So what the way I balance myself, and this is important, you know, when I teach finance, I'm not really teaching it from a self-righteous standpoint where it's like, okay, I'm gonna yell at you because you wasted money on a nice car that you like. I think if you want a new car, then shit, get you a new car. I'm talking about not even used. Like if you decide, like, you know, I really like the new car smell and I want to get a brand new car, even though I know it's overpriced. I'm not a teacher that's going to tell you that you're a bad person because you bought a new car. What I am going to do is I'm going to say, let's balance. Let's make sure that you handle your business before you kind of chill a little bit with your money, before you start doing things that might be considered wasteful, right? So what I might suggest to you is, you know, maybe you buy the nice new car as a reward for yourself for being a consistent investor. So here's like I do this. This is my real life. This is what I do. I invest like crazy. I love to invest. I invest in my business. I invest in stocks. And also I invest my time. I'm always working. I always have meetings. I'm always, you know, building and planning and working toward the future. And I love it. But sometimes I don't want to count every nickel. Sometimes I don't want to pinch pennies. Sometimes I want to be comfortable as shit. So you know what I do sometimes? I'll go to, like, I worked really hard for us to do our event in New York and stuff like that. And I did not fly to New York, coach. I could have saved money flying coach. I said, no, I want to fly first class. I work hard. I deserve to be in first class where I'm comfortable and I can stretch out my legs and I can do my work. I could have got a regular hotel room, you know, at a regular hotel. I said, no, I want to stay at a nice hotel and I want a suite. I want a big, gigantic fucking suite because I sacrificed for that, right? And now, could I have been more efficient with my money? Absolutely. But sometimes, at the end of the day, sometimes we get so caught up in trying to be perfect and precise with everything that we can't enjoy our lives. And my argument is, as you decide what works for you when it comes to your financial intelligence and financial discipline and financial goal setting, figure out what feels balanced for you. Figure out what works for you. You know, now Cornell's right. You're right. It is a business expense. That's another reason why I'm sort of like, who cares? I can write some of it off. It doesn't make it free now. A write-off does not mean it's free. A write-off means that it's discounted. I can take it against my business expenses. But still, even if it wasn't a write-off, I'd probably do it anyway because I don't want to be under the constant stress of doing everything perfect every time, every day. You know, and that's the negotiation I always did with myself. That's why I say that wealth building is really about personality, psychology, and culture. It's as much about that as it is about training and know-how and expertise. Okay. So the way I would always negotiate with myself is I'd be like, man, I do not want to do this crap. Like when I wanted to lose weight, right? I was getting overweight, blood pressure was sky high. I was too far to one extreme. I needed to make a change. Now, I made the decision like that. Okay, I'm going to start running. Now, I could have, tortured myself, right? I could have been eating like lettuce and water every day, like perfectly healthy food, running 10 miles a day, full speed as fast as I can, and really tearing myself to pieces. But I didn't want to do that because it's too painful. And so what I said to myself is I said, okay, boys, let's just get out here and let's go running every 2 days. We're not going to do 10 miles. We'll do 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what we feel like doing. If we get tired, we're going to walk. I'm not going to torture you. And then a couple times a week or once a week, you can eat a banana split, and I'm not gonna give you a hard time about it. Like this is literally like when I tell you guys I'm certified card carrying crazy, I probably am. In fact, I think as a black man, I think you got to be crazy to really, sort of find your way out of the chaos of white supremacy, right? So I'm proud to be crazy. My crazy is not dangerous, so it's okay with me. And literally, that was how I talked myself into getting up every 2 days to go running because I did not want to run. I did not enjoy it. You know, so, but I knew that as long as I was making progress, I was going to be in a better position than I would have been if I'd done nothing. So the problem, so same thing is true financially. See, the problem is not so much people not being perfect financially and not pinching every penny and keeping track of every nickel. I know the problem is people go to the extreme. They don't do anything. They do nothing. They save nothing. They invest in nothing. They want to learn nothing. They grow in no area whatsoever when it comes to their financial choices. And that's when you end up with the problems, you know, like eating, you know, eating ice cream every now and then or whatever ain't gonna kill you. What will kill you is when you're eating badly every day and doing no exercise and not thinking even a little bit about your health. You follow what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what I encourage you to do. I encourage you to just, you know, take your baby steps, you know, just, okay, I'm going to take $20 a week out of my checking account, transfer it to my Robinhood and have it invested in stocks so I can begin the path toward wealth building. That's going to be my process, right? And then when you feel like doing a little bit more, do a little bit more. Just grow yourself into that, but don't put a lot of pressure on yourself, because if you put a lot of pressure on yourself, you're not going to be happy. It's not going to be sustainable, right? And only you know what is comfortable for you. Okay. I'll give you another example. A lot of people think that I'm a workaholic, right? Some of you guys have accused me of being a workaholic. You're like, Doctor, you ever sleep? Do you ever sleep? People don't know this. Maybe you do. If you watch me, you know this. I take 2 naps a day, at least 2. And if I feel like taking 3, I'll take 3. I'm not kidding. I take a nap in the afternoon, and then I work about 3-4 more hours. Then I get tired, and then I stop and I take another nap. They're like around maybe 5 or 6, and then I'll work 2 or 3 more hours. And then if I'm tired again and I want to work into the night, I'll take another nap. Like I literally will take 3 naps in a day because I don't work when I'm tired. I always make sure I get plenty of sleep. But the trade-off is when I'm awake, when I'm alert, I'm not going to waste my time. You know, I'm not going to sit there and just, you know, just spend my whole life watching TV. You see what I mean? So that's the idea. Find that balance, find the one that works for you, and that's how you're going to be successful. Now, by the way, okay, somebody asked for the URL again for that Q&A class. Yeah, it's askdrboyce.com. That's a program we have at the Black Business School where I've literally answered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions, specific wealth building questions about everything from business to real estate to everything. So you can just go to askdrboyce.com. Feel free to sign up. You can also talk to one of our wealth specialists about your future and what you'd like to accomplish. They're very nice. Chanel and Jessica, those are their names, and they'll talk to you and they'll get on the phone with you. They'll video chat with you and help you figure out what your future looks like. So feel free to go to askdrboyce.com and take a look. I want to say hi to Cheryl Irvin. I see you, Cheryl. Cheryl runs the new Alkebalon School down in Florida, and she's one of the many great independent Black schools that I believe we should support. I don't believe that the key to educating our children properly is to fix the public school system. I believe the key is for us to build our own school system. I think that we can take our kids out. We've got all the expertise we need to educate our own. In fact, former slaves used to educate their own kids, and they didn't have half as many college degrees and everything as you guys got, right? They didn't have nearly as much wealth and money and income as we have. So I believe we should support independent Black schools. And so this year, Alicia and I, when we get married, we're going to announce the Dr. Boyce and Alicia Foundation. The Dr. Boyce and Alicia Watkins Foundation. And it's going to, the primary focus will be for the support of African-centered schools and independent Black education. So that we can educate our own kids. That's going to be our literal mission, like one of our missions in life. All right, so let me see here. Looks like you'll be home for the most part. Yeah, says Cornell. Yeah, I am. I'm home a lot. I like to be at home with my family. Let me see here. Even though you look like you were feeling great anyway, let's see, Jeffrey. I put my fast food money in stash. Good for you. Yeah, did you know that the average American spends $3,000 a month on or per year, sorry, on fast food? I don't know if y'all knew that, but the average American spends $3,000 a year on fast food. So I'm not telling you not to eat fast food anymore. Well, that's up to you. What I am telling you is maybe one way you could start is you could just say, whatever amount of money I spend on fast food, I'm going to put that into my investment account. So basically that means if you go to Burger King and you spend $18, put $18 into your investment account. You know, just kind of match that. You go to White Castle and spend $12, put $12 in your stock portfolio. Did you know that if you did that, if a person had done that for the last 20 years, they would actually be in the top 10% of wealth earners in this country. I have to go check the math exactly to see how much wealth you have to be in the top 20%, top 30%, top 10%. But literally, you'd be amazed at how little things you do right now in the next 10, 20 years could literally put your family in the top 10% of wealth earners. So it's very important for you to think about that. All right, so let's see. What's your idea on owning gold and silver? Gold and silver, precious metals are really good. In terms of hedges against inflation, which tends to happen when the economy just kind of accelerates. There are also hedges. It's weird. Even during recessions, gold can go up in value as well because recession might come with a lot of risk, and whenever there's economic risk, the price of gold tends to go up because it's seen as what is called a safe haven asset. And also when there's inflation, when the value of dollars goes down, gold goes up. The way I invest in gold is I buy into an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. I think the ticker is GLD, and it doesn't make me a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've had, my biggest wins stock wise this year that I know of that I can think of were like, I think GE. I made a lot off GE. GE's been making moves lately, and I also made a lot from Weight Watchers, Oprah's company. And that was really just, a guess. Like I saw where Weight Watchers didn't hit their earnings numbers, and I saw that Oprah was really concerned and was going to get directly involved, in helping the company get better. And I don't like Oprah, but I believe in Oprah. Like I don't like her, but I respect her as far as like as a businesswoman. How can you not respect a Black woman who figured out how to make $3 billion? And I felt that if Oprah got involved, the company would improve. Because if you recall, back when she started with the Oprah Winfrey Network, she wasn't making money. But I feel like she has this fear of failure that would drive her to do whatever it took to make it better. And I don't know if that was why I was right, but I was right. I made a shit ton of money off Weight Watchers stock because I bought options and everything. And I actually documented it, on the Black Financial Channel. I think if you go to YouTube and search for Boyce Watkins Weight Watchers, I actually document when I bought the stock and what the price was and when I, and where it went to and when I sold. I think I did 2-3 videos on that, just as kind of an exercise to sort of, take you through that journey. All right, guys. So let me see here. I'll answer a couple more questions, then I'm gonna get out of here. If you want to learn, Doretha Hall says, you totally rock, Dr. Well. Oh, thank you very much, Doretha. I appreciate it. Well, you rock too, sister. God bless you. You never said a number. Sorry, I don't know what you mean by numbers. Hash, you got to tell me what you mean. Slapshot 88. Doc, can you open one of these schools in Canada? Maybe. I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm still trying to figure out how much the people in Canada need or want people like me. I don't always have a clear sense of where my strongest interest level lies as far as people that actually want to see me. I go some places, like I go to Brooklyn and stuff, and it's great. So many people show up. Los Angeles, London. Canada, I don't know. I'm going to try something. I'll probably do something in Toronto at some point as part of a partnership. But the key thing is you have to be cautious about where you go, because every time we invest to go to a city, it costs a lot of money. It's over $20,000. And so that's one of the reasons why you got to be real careful about these people that kind of don't want Black business owners to be able to raise money, because what they're doing is they're trying to create an environment that cripples business development in the Black community. So, because the reality is that to do things, it costs money. You can't do stuff for free, and you can't sort of have a poverty charity mindset, when it comes to building things, because you're never going to get anything built, right? So basically, we like to be transparent about what we're using money for, and we're really proud of what we've been able to do around the world. It's just without any corporate sponsorship and any government help at all, we have gone to probably 100 different cities, and we have trained hundreds of thousands of our people on at least the fundamentals of wealth building. So if you haven't signed up at theblackbusinessschool.com, that's theblackbusinessschool.com for a free membership, go do that today. Theblackbusinessschool.com, sign up your family, tell them all, go check it out, because we're so good that we will give you that. If you do a free membership with us, we guarantee like you're going to learn more from us for free than you'll learn from a university by paying $100,000. We're that good at what we do. In fact, the other reason why you want to make sure you have the free membership is because I'm doing a special lecture on November 8th, where I'm going to analyze and dissect Byron Allen's Breakfast Club interview, and I'm going to play it piece by piece, chop it, pause it, and drill, and then move forward, chop it, pause it, and drill. And you're going to walk away with a lot of understanding in terms of what he was saying and how you can apply these principles to your family and figure out ways to move forward, with the people you love. All right, guys. So I'm going to go. So feel free to use that link I sent you for the event I'm doing with attorney Nicole Compton on November 26th. Here is the link right there. And the code to get half off only for the first 100 people, and it's only going to be available for the next 72 hours, is Black Business School. So you use the code word Black Business School, and you can join our estate planning lecture. What we're going to teach you is all the things you need to create a great estate plan. And attorney Nicole Compton will be there. She's an experienced lawyer. She's damn good at what she does. And so you're going to love it. It's going to be great. So feel free to go to that link and use that code word Black Business School. Also, feel free to go to AskDrBoyce.com if you'd like to sign up for that Ask Dr. Boyce program. If you're watching on the Black Financial Channel, please hit the thumbs up button before you go. And I'm going to get on out of here. So you guys have a good day. And thanks for talking to me. See you soon.